Place wants to thank the DeWitt County 4-Hers for bringing their exhibits and activities to be judged in this year's fair. You've made all of us in the DeWitt County area proud of your accomplishments. A tip of the hat to our 4-Hers from Brad and the staff at your Gibson Ace Hardware in Clinton.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in studio this morning, Shelly Tolly with Piecemeal. Good morning, Shelly. How are you?
Hi, Seth. Great. How are you?
Doing all right. Trying to survive this heat. Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
You were telling me you're a summer gal.
I am.
I like the summer.
Yeah. Well, I'm a pool girl, so.
Oh, there you go.
So the hotter it is, the better the pool
better
is.
the pool play is. Yep, for sure. I'll take. I've said this before. I'll take 95 degrees over -10 every day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. So
definitely.
Very good. Well, this is kind of our time of year. Unfortunately, not everybody's cup of tea, and that goes for seniors. And unfortunately, some news out of Piecemeal about some of the regular activities for the week. Let's start there, Shelly.
Yeah. So we have entered those dog days of summer, and the heat indexes for the next couple of days are going to be quite bad. So our manager keeps really good a close eye on the heat indexes in the summer. Not so much for the seniors. It is important to keep an eye on them, but our drivers, tomorrow the heat index is supposed to be 115. It's just too dangerous to have our drivers out there in that kind of weather. And also the drivers that don't have the hot shots, the heated and cooled vehicles, they just have like insulated bags with heating pads in it and then coolers with ice packs. It's just not safe for the food to be out in that kind of weather.
Yep, sure. So not delivering meals tomorrow then.
Correct.
Yeah.
So what we did was our manager told us on Monday that we wouldn't be delivering meals on Thursday, and she prepared a note for the drivers to take out to the clients yesterday. So all of the clients in all 7 counties were notified that we would not be delivering tomorrow. And then we are also going to have our drivers call tomorrow just to do a wellness check. So our program, like I've said before, it's not just a meal program, it's also a wellness check program. Heat is very dangerous for seniors. And so we just want to make sure that they are okay, that they're staying cool, that they have enough food to eat. So they will be checking on them tomorrow.
Well, let's dive into, particularly for seniors, what should they be doing to keep themselves cool? For a lot, and I know we'll get into this a little bit, but for a lot of folks, they're on a fixed income,
yes.
So maybe they can't afford to run that air conditioning, and they're relying on a fan and that moving air in their home and that sort of thing. That doesn't mean you're not going to get overheated and can't get dehydrated.
Correct.
Let's speak to just senior care through this heat, Shelly.
Yeah. So I looked up, there's a study on the Harvard Medical School. It's called Extreme Heat Endangers Older Adults. And it was talking about how as you get older, your body changes and you can't handle the heat as well as when you were younger. So I don't know if you've met a lot of seniors. They're cold all the time. So they think they're cold, but their body is really struggling to keep up with the heat. We also don't sweat as well as we get older. And so that's our body's natural cooling mechanism. So if you're not sweating, then you're not going to stay as cool. Also, their physiological responses, like I just said, they think they're cold, but their body's really like, I'm overheating, I'm thirsty. And then the medications that they take can stifle their thirst or cause them to urinate more with the Lasix and then dehydrate them. And that's very dangerous. So you got to stay hydrated during all this. And then also chronic medical conditions like heart problems, lung, kidney disease, and diabetes can impair how they react to heat. So they really, really need to be staying in cool areas. If they don't have air conditioning, then go to a shopping mall. It's free. You can go in there and sit. They have like those little food courts. Go in there and sit for a little while. You could go to the senior center. We have the senior center here in town. You could go down there. There's a TV, comfortable furniture. You can sit and watch TV. There's got a pool table. We will. And then you could also just go to the library. So there's all kinds of places you could go to get cool.
Yeah, I do. If you don't mind, I want to put out, I know the National Weather Service, and I should probably check this while we're talking here. Last time I talked to them, they were promoting that there is a resource at the Weather Service website of cooling centers in your area. So
that's great.
Yeah, so I think it's like a map where you can kind of zoom in, and it shows you little points on the map where there's a cooling center. So let me check on that, but continue on.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to cut you off
No,
there.
that's great. And then the way to stay cool is to dress for success. Wear lightweight clothes, loose fitting, and light colored clothing. And then track your apps. So like you said, the app that he's going to maybe link to this conversation will tell you where the cooling centers are, but also keep an eye on the heat out, the hottest days of the app, the day, the hottest hours of the day. And then make a plan for that. Keep an eye on the heat index, because that's what's dangerous. It's not just the temperature you're looking at, it's what it feels like.
Yeah, it's the website, Shelly, is keepcool.illinois.gov.
That's awesome. Keepcool.illinois.gov.
Yeah,
So definitely look into that.
I put it in the comments of our streams.
Okay.
So check that out if you're interested. It's also at the Weather Service website. So if you go there to check the weather, it's just right there. So plenty of ways to check that out.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great resource. And and for I know when the senior center has their fan drive, they talk about keeping cool and that moving air and those sorts of things. But that's not the end all be all. I think the hydration piece is a real big one.
Yeah, and they also said if you use your fan correctly. So the fans are only going to work for you if the surrounding air is kind of cool. And when it's that hot, it's not going to be super cool. So get a damp washcloth and put it on your chest or put it on the back of your neck.
Yep.
As that breeze is blowing over you to kind of cool you down.
Sure. I know for some folks, heat exhaustion can lead to heat stroke and things like that. Do you mind speaking to that a little bit?
Yeah. So actually my grandma had a heat stroke when she was younger in the summer. And so she would always be on my dad about us mowing the lawn. So we got out of mowing the lawn a lot when we were kids, because my girl would be like, they're going to get heat stroke. But yes. So if you're not staying hydrated, if you're staying out in the sun too long, you can get, and I didn't write this down, but you can get symptoms of heat. What's the first one? There's
heat exhaustion.
And then that can lead into heat stroke. And they're very dangerous, especially for older people. So you need to keep an eye on your seniors. So we're going to call our seniors on Thursday.
Okay.
If you have a senior in your life, you need to please check on them to make sure that they are staying cool, they're staying hydrated, and that they do have enough to eat, because food, of course, is always going to be very beneficial to your system.
Sure. Shelly Tolly, piecemeal, our guest in studio for this morning. So no piecemeal on Thursday.
Correct.
Are you sending out extra meals today? Do you send those out as a contingency before the summer starts? What should seniors who get those meals, what should they plan on for tomorrow?
So our drivers know who are super food insecure. And so what we do is, if we have extra, when we dish up the food, if we have extra, we just go ahead and dish up the extra, seal it, and stick it in our freezers. And then that way the drivers know if they have food insecure people, they can just grab a couple extra frozen meals for them. And so the drivers have been instructed to do that. Most of our clients are like, I'm okay, I've got enough food. And then we do, not so much in the summertime, but in the wintertime, we do send out emergency meal kits. So if we were closed in the winter, because we close more in the winter than we do in the summer, and then that way they have shelf stable food if we can't come. And a lot of them keep a hold of that all through the year. So
what about the congregate sites? What do you do for those as a contingency?
The congregate sites, they're not so much food insecure as our home delivered meal people are, because they can get out. So I do know that in Ludlow, they're going to stay open tomorrow just so that they are a cooling center. So they're going to come in and play cards, but we're not going to serve food tomorrow.
Okay, gotcha. So have to make do for Thursday, and I guess Shelly, as we continue on here, let's talk about you talk about recognizing those that may be extra food insecure,
Yeah.
And that sort of thing. How do you know that? What is how do you recognize that?
Mhm.
How about some of those things?
Yeah. So when I'm doing the assessment program with the new clients and the reassessment program, what we do is there's two questionnaires. And the first one is the nutrition screening, and then the second one is about food insecurity. I also ask them if they're above or below the poverty line. And then that will key us in as to far if we can offer them multiple meals. So in that first questionnaire, I ask them, do they eat at least 2 meals a day? Some people don't eat 2 meals a day because they're not hungry. But some, like yesterday, I had a lady that was like, no, I can't afford fruits and vegetables. I only eat 1 meal a day because that's all I can afford. And sometimes I don't even have that. And then they'll say, I had another client yesterday that told me, well, I know our post office has like a little food bank that we can go to. So if they tell me that they utilize food banks, then that cues me in that they might be food insecure. And then on the back page is really where we find out if they are food insecure, because it asks questions like the food that you bought didn't last and you didn't have money to buy more. You can't afford to buy a balanced meal. You can't afford to. No, that's not true. The next question is you've had to cut your portion sizes because you can't afford to buy food. You've had to skip meals because you can't afford to buy food. Have you been hungry in the last month? And it's very heartbreaking to ask those questions. Most people are like, no, I'm fine. But the people that are struggling, I've had people break down and cry. And I'm like, it's okay. We're here to help you. And we also let them know we are a donation program. So you pay what you can afford. And the lady yesterday, she was just so thankful. And I said, you do qualify for 2 meals. Would you like the driver to bring you 2 meals? And she's like, are you serious? I was like, yeah, we can do that for you. And she was like, you just don't know how much that means to me. Just knowing that, she was like, you've made my day. I can eat now. And so that's the most rewarding thing about my job is knowing that we're taking care of seniors and I said, I need an emergency contact. And she's like, I don't have anybody. And I'm like, so it's rewarding, but it's heartbreaking at the same time.
Yeah, just to be there for them.
Yeah,
definitely. Well, and when someone comes into the program, and let's kind of speak to this, that intake process, like if they called today and said, hey, I know you're not delivering food for tomorrow. Can I get a meal today? Like, what does that intake process look like? And what's the turnaround time for them to start getting food from Piecemeal?
So we are not really we don't have the ability to start someone immediately, unless they're a hospital or a nursing home release. If they're a hospital or nursing home release, we're required to get them talked to that day and started the next day. We start people on Mondays and Thursdays. So what I try to do is if I'm going to start people on Thursdays, I talk to them on Monday or Tuesday. So it's usually a 2 to 3 day wait to get on. Now, if I do find someone that is like super food insecure, they have no food, I'll talk to my route supervisor, Chris, and he's really great. He's like, yeah, I can get them on, no problem. And he will put it in more priority to get them onto the route sheet.
Sure. Gotcha.
So we do have abilities to do it, but it's not something we do often because it will cause confusion with the drivers because they're used to starting people on Mondays and Thursdays.
I see. Well, Shelly, as we chat this morning, anything I missed on whether it's no Piecemeal tomorrow, heat safety and seniors, what I missed, what do you want to talk about?
Just want to really encourage people to check on their seniors today and tomorrow. It's very important that they are staying hydrated, that they're staying cool. If you know of a friend or a family member that does not have air conditioning, invite them over today because they need to stay cool.
Shelly Tolly, Piecemeal, our guest in studio. More to come with Shelly on the morning show.
WHOW.
office for more information.
Let's check the markets now on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn steady, beans higher, wheat lower. September corn down half a penny, 3.98 3/4. December corn down 1/4, 4.17 3/4. March corn 4.35 1/4, down half a penny. August beans up a nickel, 10.15 1/4. September beans up 5.5, 10.13 1/2. November beans 10.31, up 5.5. September wheat 5.45 1/4, down 4 1/4. December wheat down 3 3/4, 5.65 3/4. August bean meal 275.20, up $1.40. August bean oil 56.30, up 67 cents. Livestock trade, August feeders up $1.65, 329.92. August live cattle up $1.37, 226.35. August lean hogs down 42 cents, 107.32. Energy market, September crude oil 64.91, down 40 cents. This is the RFD.
When it comes to finding primary care, you can be seen at any doctor's office, but at Memorial Care, you're not just seen, you're heard. Our primary care team takes the time to listen to you, building a lasting relationship based on transparency and trust. So when you notice a change in your health, you've got a team that's ready to advocate for what you need. Memorial Care, real connections. Learn more at memorial.health/primary care.
Make this school year their strongest yet. Book your child's back to school or sports physical today at SIU Center for Family Medicine in Lincoln. Keep them healthy, focused, and ready for success. Find out more by clicking their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Hi, I'm Brett with Central Cremation Center. We're proudly offering pet cremation services to help keep your faithful companion close to you. Learn more about our pet services by clicking our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
The Big 1520, WHOW Clinton.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Shelly Tolly with Piecemeal in studio with us for this morning. And Shelly, let's just give an update on Piecemeal in DeWitt County, what it looks like. I know there's programs in Clinton and Farmer City. How about some of those?
So Clinton and Farmer City are our main sites in DeWitt. We do have a rural route that runs through DeWitt that takes care of like Parnell and DeWitt and Weldon, a couple other little towns that are in DeWitt.
Mm-hmm.
So those are all home delivered meal people. So you definitely can get on the program, both home delivered and congregate. Clinton is by far our biggest site in DeWitt County. We are located at the Friendship Center here in town. We have a good partnership with the ladies over there. They do a great job helping partner up with us. So Wednesday's our biggest day. We partner with them. They do the bingo. We do the food. So it's a great partnership. So the lady that's over the congregate program wanted me to let you guys know that it's not just a salad bar. Salad, soup, and a dessert are offered on Wednesdays. And then so they have for lunch from 10:30 to 11:15. Bingo starts at 11:30. It's a fun time. You should come out and join the ladies at the Friendship Center on Wednesdays. We're open every day, but Wednesdays are the big days.
Yep.
And then over in Farmer City, we have two options. We have the Farmer City Cafe. It's a restaurant program. You can buy tickets from Patty at the Santa Ana Township. And then we offer the home delivered meals out there in Farmer City as well.
Sure. So keep that in mind.
Yeah. And then we also have some updates with, I told you we were expanding over in Champaign and Iroquois County. And we opened up those 4 new sites, and we have opened up a 5th site now. We went from 336 meals served in the month of May, and we more than doubled it in the month of June. We served 797 meals.
Wow.
And then over in Iroquois County, we have added Cindy's Roadside Cafe and Sesta Park Family Restaurant, along with Watsika Family Table and Bert's Place in Milford. And we had 510 meals in May. And then last month, we have 848 meals. And we think those numbers are just going to grow as the word gets out about those restaurant programs.
How does the restaurant program work?
Yeah. So you'll go in and fill out a personal information form. It's just a 1-pager. And then you will let the site supervisor know that you want to purchase tickets. They sell them in 5 and 10 packs. It's either $20 or $40. They don't pay me for my math skills. $20 or $40. And then what you do is you go in, you give a ticket to the waitress. She gives you a piecemeal menu. You write the name and date it on the back, and then you get a meal.
Yeah,
for $4.
Now, with that program, is it work similarly to like the other home delivered meals, where like if you can't afford that,
correct?
Okay, so how does that work in that circumstance?
You just talk to the site supervisor, and it's purely between you and her.
Okay.
Nobody knows about it.
Yeah.
And then she just lets her one up know.
Got it.
Yeah,
Sure.
and so we can definitely make arrangements, and so the restaurant would never know that you couldn't afford it.
Okay,
they
sure.
would just give you the tickets.
Very good, very good. All right, so Shelly, anything else on those location programs we're talking about?
We're just really excited to have those open, and we're trying to open up another one in Champaign. It's the Havens. It's another high rise that we would love to expand into, and then we're still working with the Champaign Park District to get one open for all of Champaign.
Okay.
So those ones I was talking about are just for those high-rise clients,
okay.
the people that live there.
Okay.
So we're trying to open one up with the Park District for all of Champaign.
All right, very good. Well, we'll keep our ears out for as that develops. Yeah. Very good. And Shelly, we talked about in the first segment heat safety for seniors and checking on them during this heat wave. One thing about Piecemeal is it is a wellness check in a lot of ways. How about that?
Yeah, it's more than just a wellness check. It's a relationship. So our drivers and our clients get very bonded with one another. In fact, sometimes if we try to move a client, like maybe the boundaries have shifted a little bit and we're like, hey, we need to move this client over to this route. The drivers get very defensive. And they're like, those are my clients, that I love them. Don't take them. And then the clients too, like they are the first ones to be like, please don't come out in this weather. We do not want you out here. We want you to be safe. But I was telling Seth during the break, I have this one gentleman that texts me on a regular basis, and he's just the sweetest guy. And he's going through some medical issues. And I was like, well, keep me updated. I want to make sure you're okay. And he said, since I started Piecemeal, I feel like I have a family again, that people care about me and love me. And I said, I do care about you. I do feel like you're my family. I always tell people I feel like I have 500 grandparents. It's just, I'm one of the luckiest girls in the world to have that many grandparents.
Yeah, sure.
So it's just that the drivers care about the clients and the clients care about the drivers.
Yep.
And it's a really rewarding thing.
And when there's an irregularity there, that it's noticed because of that familiarity.
Yes. And so then they text me and they say, hey, you might want to check on so-and-so. They were not acting right. And that actually happened in Clinton not too long ago. And we found out that the client was in the hospital, that she was having a lot of problems. And we've caught a lot of things that, family would not have known had we were not going in there. Because we have a lot of people that their kids move out of state. It's not that they're not involved, but there's not someone that's checking on them daily.
Yep, sure. Well, Shelly, I look at the clock. I've got to let you go. Best way for folks to learn about Piecemeal.
Call 309-665-5900. That will take you to our secretary, Nikki, and she'll love to help you get started on the program.
Fantastic. Shelly Tolly with Piecemeal, OSF Piecemeal, our guest in studio. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. Brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Network News is now.
WHOW.